I'm so blonde. Hello, why am I still sick? Hello, my Nicolettes, and welcome back to my channel. I know you guys may be wondering why I have blonde hair right now, and don't you worry, it's not my actual hair. I've just been playing around with hair. I've just been really bored of my hair, so I thought, you know what, just spice it up with some extensions. But don't worry, I am not this blonde. I don't know if one day I should ever go this blonde, but it's fun to be blonde for one day. Do blondes really have more fun? That is the question. As you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about my stalker. I've been watching a ton of these Storytime videos and I love them. I think they're so interesting to listen to people's stories and to share stories. I was thinking, what are some crazy stories that I could tell you guys that has happened to me? And a lot of crazy things have happened to me. But I thought of this one story which happened to me years and years ago. It started when I was 14. I was in grade 9. It was my first year in high school. I remember this like it happened yesterday. One day I was walking home from school because my school was super close to where I lived, and sometimes I liked walking home by myself and not having my mom pick me up and drive me because it was the cool thing to do. I remember exactly what I wore, and I was wearing these new white skinny jeans that I thought were super cool, and I thought I was so cool in them. And I was walking home, and all of a sudden this man is turning his car in while I cross the street, and while he's turning he yells out at me like he like whistles and yells out like I'm a dog. I hate when guys do that. Just an FYI, do not whistle at us. We are not dogs. Let the dogs out! I am just ignoring him and he's shouting things out. I don't even really remember what they were because I was just ignoring them and I was going on with my day and I kept walking. He actually turned around and then started following me while I was walking. First off, he looked way older than I was. I was 14 and I remember how he looked. He had no hair and it didn't look like it was shaved. It looked like he shaved his head because he was already balding. He was in this huge truck, and those trucks just scared me because it reminds me of those big trucks that I'll get a picture of what the truck looked like if I can, but it's those trucks that you can open up the back and it's a huge storage area, and it just reminds me of where they kidnap kids. Like, that's the truck I think of when I think of kidnappers. So he's in the car and I'm still walking and he's going the speed of my walking. So I'm walking and then he's going next to me and yelling out his window saying, "What's your name? Can I have your number?" He was just yelling out a bunch of things, and at this point I was getting really uncomfortable and really nervous, and I just didn't say anything. I kept walking and I took out my phone, and it was not an iPhone. Back in the day it was one of those like Motorola, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it was those flip phones. First off, in grade 9, when I was 14, I had pay-as-you-go, guys. Not these plans with data and a million minutes and you can go on the internet. No, I had pay-as-you-go and I was $10 a month, I remember, because my parents only gave me the phone for emergencies. They didn't want me to text boys or to call people on it, even though I'm gonna be honest, I wasted that $10 in probably a week by texting and calling my friends. And pay-as-you-go was so dumb because even if you talked for 20 seconds, let's say my mom called and I'm like, "Hey, I'm here," or something, that would automatically be a minute. So I would waste $1. That's 10 phone calls, and it doesn't even need to be 10 minutes. It could be like 20 seconds each phone call. I would finish the pay-as-you-go card so quickly and not tell my parents, and I used to like sneak at grocery stores and buy pay-as-you-go cards to put more money in my phone without telling my parents with my lunch money. Sorry, Mom, but a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. I don't know if I'm the only one, but when I get really nervous, I take out my phone and I kind of use it as a thing like, if you don't stop right now, I will call the cops or call someone because my phone is right here. And I don't know why I think that will really help in life, but I do that. I had the phone out ready to dial it if I needed to. And he just kept going. I was walking and walking, and then I was like, "Hey, I had enough." I turned into a street and he turned in too. And it wasn't my street because I was getting closer to my house, but I didn't want him to know where I lived. So I turned into a street, and then when he kept following me, but then I cut through a house, and obviously he couldn't cut through a house with his car. So I ran and cut through a house and went like everywhere. I remember I was like out of breath right after I ran. I was having a heart attack. I felt like I was in a movie. And then I stopped and I hid behind something, and then all I remember is seeing him kind of still circling around trying to find me, and then he eventually gave up and just left. And then when he left, I finally walked home. When I got home, I didn't tell my parents. I only told my best friend, Angela. I told her the story that I'm gonna do a video on it, and she's like, oh my god, I remember that. And I didn't tell anyone because the reason why I didn't want to is because it's so stupid, but this is my 14-year-old brain. I didn't want to tell my mom or my parents because then I didn't want them to be like, oh, you can't walk home. And I just didn't want that because, you know, sometimes you want to hang out with your friends after school and you want to go home later or something. So I didn't want them to be nervous and be like, oh, you can't walk again ever by yourself. I liked having the freedom of having the choice to walk home. I didn't tell them, and I thought, whatever, it's a one-time thing. But to my surprise, he was there again the next day I was walking home. The exact same time, the exact same location, he was there. And once again, the whole story happened again. And then it was the third time. I decided to go home a different route for the third time. And I hid behind, I remember there's this poster on like the grass of where I was walking. I guess it was like a billboard trying to, I don't know what kind of billboard, but it was just one of those billboards being like sale or something. I don't know what it had on it, but I went a different route home and I saw his car and it was at the exact same location waiting for me and the exact same time. So I literally hid behind the sign and just watched him and waited till he left, and he stayed there for a while and then he eventually ended up leaving, and then I proceeded to walk home. But I was so scared of this man because he just looked so creepy. It was so disgusting, and I was 14 years old. How disgusting is that? I didn't want to walk to school anymore. I was done with that. I was like, nope, not walking home by myself. My mom used to just pick me up and stuff for a while. I ended up seeing him one more time after school, and it's actually when my mom picked me up. It was near the same location, of course. I remember right when I saw him, I ducked down and I pretend like I was tying my shoe, and my mom's like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, just tying my shoe. Then we went home. So he didn't see me, obviously, because he didn't know my mom's car or anything. But right when I saw his face, I had a heart attack and I like ducked down so abruptly. And then when we passed his car back up, but that was the last time I saw him, thank the Lord, because that was honestly so scary to me. And I was 14 and this guy looked way, way older. I don't even know what I would think how old he is. I'm assuming he was like in his 40s, 50s, and I was 14, and it was just so creepy to me. I was so creeped out. But yeah, that is my story on my stalker. If you guys have any weird or strange stories, let me know in the comments down below. I've been loving watching these videos. Hit a thumbs up if you guys want more of these types of videos, and don't forget to click that subscribe button and join the Nicolette's family because I upload every other day here on my channel, and it is quite fun here, I must say. I feel like I'm a character right now. I'm like Goldilocks going on. You guys have a fabulous day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!